I'd rather not. I hear the words of my Gen Z stepson, Fabi, and I'm speechless. Just before I say, oh, come on. We have so few rules at home. Can you stick to them? As I watch him, comfortably and self-assuredly leaning back in his chair, well, our chair, I sense this answer won't be good. You know, he says, I'd rather not. 3 years back, my stepson and I are in big trouble. We are like Luke and Darth Vader having our epic showdown. We are done. That evening, we call it quits and plan our domestic separation after months of fights. All changes with 2 words. As one day, I watch him goofing around with our young son in our garden, and I'm hearing their giggles, and I'm feeling their joy, I walk over to him and say, thank you. And from the look in his eyes, I can tell that in this very moment, we have turned the tides. Without a word, he begins to contribute, and we respect each other's boundaries. And I'm embarrassed because as a leader, I should have known that leadership, in fact, any relationship, is so much about people feeling valued, seen, and heard. During my 10 years of leadership, I didn't think much about Gen Z, as my teams were very diverse and international. Only when I started helping other leaders to create workplaces of joy, passion, and high performance did the Gen Z land squarely back on my table. Zina, they are so demanding, they seem unwilling to work, and they call it quits before you even see it coming. Oh no, I thought. Welcome to the dark side. As these conversations created a pattern, I started to sit down with Gen Zs and listen. What do they really want? What attitudes do they have towards work? And how engaged are they really? In my interview with Sammy, a quick-witted young man, he says, yes, I quit my first job day 1. There we go, I think. There we go. However, he says, my next job was real fun. Despite of not quitting it, I went the extra miles. I stayed longer and took over more tasks than I had to. What was the difference, I asked. In my first job, my boss was constantly blurting things out, making us feel that we are no good. The other employees, this is normal, just ignore it. Sammy doesn't and leaves. In the other job, he says, there was a real good vibe in which everyone supported each other. Same person, different environment, an entirely new version of the employee. And all my Gen Zs shared something similar. Stories in which they couldn't wait to clock out, and stories in which they were engaged and happily going the extra mile. Don't we all know such stories? Isn't it true that it is greatly the environment that shapes who we become? Thriving or merely functioning? My Gen Z's common vision of the future of work, good relationships. In the future of work, leaders care about employee relationships. People don't thrive in systems, people thrive in relationships. They don't care about your business, and they don't care about your numbers. unless they care for you, feeling valued, seen, and heard. Gen Z is speaking up, and they are wondering how healthy are our work environments today. Recent Gallup employee engagement reports reveal the sad truth. 72% of European employees state to be quiet quitters. And Europe is the world's leader. Yes! In disengagement. Oh. What if Gen Z isn't the problem? What if instead they are part of the solution? Yes, Gen Z is a great threat and a great opportunity to fix what is already broken. Outdated leadership styles creating unhealthy work environments, creating disengaged employees. When I sat down with Gen Zs, I also asked them, if you had the chance to get the attention of a world's audience, hypothetically, what message would you share with the business world? Their response is simple. Instead of talking about us, let us sit down together and listen to each other. In the future of work, leaders create a culture of open dialogue and listen to understand versus listen to answer. People don't thrive in systems. People thrive in relationships, feeling valued, seen, and heard. Their words reminded me of my client Manuel, an incredibly sharp thinker and open spirit. This team is driving me crazy, he says. They're incapable and unmotivated. If I could, I would fire them all. And as the team didn't seem to understand, his messages became louder and harsher. And the louder he got, the more they silenced. His continuous negative feedback triggered a state of learned helplessness in which the team came to believe they are, surprise, incapable and powerless. They went into a downward spiral of taking less and less initiative, avoided key conversations, and became increasingly unreliable. To break the loop, we start by recreating trust, with trust being a relationship issue, right? Yeah, I don't care about relationships, Manuel says. And I'm not gonna walk around appreciating the whole day. Someone has to do the work. And he's right. No money, no business, no employees. Why should organizations care about relationships? The world's low engagement crisis comes to an estimated damage of nearly $9 trillion to the global economy. And it comes to cost for your business too. Investing in good relationships consistently shows its positive impact on profitability, turnover, customer happiness, and. One key learning I had in creating high-performance teams is that relationships are a key factor for success. Now I got Manuel's attention. So we continue with appreciation. They exchange what they value in each other, even in the midst of a conflict. When people feel valued, walls come down. The team starts sharing their stories, their pains and ideas. And as Manuel truly listens, things start to shift. He begins to understand, and the team feels seen. Manuel realizes that the solutions were already in the team. Instead of dictating the way forward, they outlined new solutions. He was impressed, gave them ownership, and the team started to take more and more pride in their collective achievements. What started as divided parties became a united force, shaping their collective future. A few weeks later, Manuel calls me. By the way, he says, this team, that I wanted to, fire, they're now my top performers, and it's fun to work with. In the future of work, leaders are generous with appreciation and empower their employees through co-creation. People don't thrive in systems, people thrive in relationships, feeling valued, seen, and heard. Quiet quitting, on the other hand, thrives in environments where voices go unheard and people go unvalued. Feeling valued makes us want to contribute more, as our brain's reward system lights up. Feeling seen and valued makes us want to stay, as oxytocin fills our body with safety and belonging. What Gen Z is asking for directly links to universal human motivators. What is new is a generation asking for it. And in doing so, they may break the silence of the quiet quitters and may pave the way for its end. The Gen Z's vision of the future, it's a place where we appreciate each other, where leaders engage in open dialogues and empower their employees to co-create workplaces of joy, passion, and high performance. And maybe, in a few years, our workplaces will be no more filled with quiet quitters, but with the lively voices of passionate people, laughter, and words of empowerment. Who in your network deserves a note of thanks? Who in your network is it time to truly listen to? And who in your network can you empower to take initiative? These are also the questions the leaders of the future will ask themselves if they want to be Gen Z ready. And if not, Gen Z may just hop on, or to say it in the words of my stepson, I'd rather not.